That's a good thing, and I'm glad you're saying that because it could be part of what we're going to talk about on the call. So it took a long time,
Great.
but you're here. That's what's important, right? Awesome. Okay, well, I will get this started. I was out dancing with my daughter to some We Just Dance, so I am a rock star at that dancing program, apparently, in my own eyes. Okay, it's Thursday night, 7 o'clock Mountain Time. It's our weekly call. I'm super pumped up. Let me just move this little chat box over so I can see it. I'm excited about this topic, and I can tell from some of the team pages that a few of you guys were excited about it as well. I don't want everybody to feel just asleep, so can I get a thumbs up from everybody? Make sure you're all awake. Maybe one of these thumbs up. There you go. Okay, and I made a goal the other day that we are going to keep these to 30 minutes, 45 tops, because like I get going for like an hour and 15 minutes when I get going. So we're going to try to stick to 30 minutes. So it'll be fast on these calls. So, and why is that? Because I want you guys spending your time not just going through training, but actually implementing what we're learning, right? Getting in there, building relationships with people, working on your personal development, and inviting people. So a couple announcements. I want to make sure that all of you guys are registered for Summit. If you're on this call, you most likely 100% want to build a business because you're on this call and you want to learn. So I say it's a must that you register for Summit and then figure out later how to get there. Okay. Summit, I'll just can someone in the chat box put the Summit, type it in for me. It's www.coachsummit2016.com. That's the link to register, and you can't register. There's like a wait list for it. So just get on the wait list. And like Carl Deichler said last year, he's like, don't worry about the wait list. If something happens and there's a wait list when Summit comes, just sneak in the back door. If you are willing to get your name on a wait list and we can't get you off of it, you come in and sneak in the back exit door because you deserve to be there for making it there without a ticket. So we want you there at Coach Summit with us. Also, mark your calendar for April 2nd. I believe it's April 2nd is Super Saturday in your local town. That is another must. Anybody that came to our Sagi event like 2 weeks ago, they can attest to you how awesome local events are and how important it is that you get to one. So make sure that you mark your calendar right now for Super Saturday that day so you block out. I don't want to see like a week before saying, oh, I can't go. I got this going on or that going on. That should be a priority if you have some goals and dreams for your business. You should be with your local group there for Super Saturday. So, I made an announcement on my Facebook this morning. I want you guys to know that, Summit is coming up. And for those of you that are pushing and have goals for Summit, I want you guys to know kind of how it works. So I have some dates written down. Oh, man. Okay, there it is. So if you want to be recognized on stage at Summit or recognized at Summit for a rank or for a Success Club All-Star, any of that stuff, you have to be the paid rank of what you want to be recognized for on June 23rd. So write that down. So like if you're Emerald and you want to be recognized at Summit as a Diamond Coach and you'll get like a medal and it says Diamond Coach on it or 1 star. You have to be that rank by June 23rd to be recognized in July at Summit. If you're going for anything above Diamond, Star Diamond and above, you have to start what's called a qualification period. And if you're new, this might be a little confusing, but the date for that is May 19th. So what that means, basically, anytime you advance rank past Diamond, from Diamond to 1 star or 1 star to 2 star, basically a 1 star Diamond means that you are a Diamond yourself and then one of your personally sponsored coaches is a Diamond. So, but in order to become an official 1 star Diamond, they have to hold that Diamond rank for 6 weeks, and then you become official 1 star Diamond, okay? So if you have a goal to be 1 star at Summit or 2 star or 5 star, you have to have all 5 of your diamonds or your 1 diamond locked in by May 19th, and then they have to be the diamond 6 weeks later on that June 23rd date. Does that make sense? Clear as mud? Okay. With that being said, I was talking with my accountability partner, and speaking about accountability partners, if you do not have one yet, you should find one from this group that's here that you can hold each other accountable with and bounce ideas off. Mine is Barbie Kalev. We've been accountability partners for about 6 months. We set a goal for ourselves. We decided we're not like we didn't just say we want to be 15-star diamonds at Summit. We said we are not going to Summit without being a 15-star diamond. So that's the level of commitment that we're going at on that goal. And like I said, that date to lock in your qualification is May 19th. I set our date with Barbie for April 14th. So 45, it's like 45 days. So that's my goal. I want you guys to know what my goals are as your leader that I'm pushing. That means I have to go from 9-star in one business center to 15. So I have to help produce 6 new diamonds in the next 45 days in one of the 4 business centers. So that's our goal, what we're going for. So I really have to push and get outside my comfort zone as well. But I'm going to do whatever it takes. So let's talk about the topic today. Who here, raise your hands, excited to learn about the unsexy Facebook messaging relationship building? That's what I call it, and I adopted that term from Jenny Haushin. So if you haven't followed Jenny Haushin's a great coach to follow. She's one of my Star Diamond coaches, does this full time. But we were at a retreat about a year and a half ago, and she was talking about it and teaching. We were doing a diamond panel, and she was teaching people. She's like, I think what a lot of coaches miss is the unsexy Facebook messaging that nobody can see. It's the behind the scenes thing. Because, right, you guys can see me post on Facebook. You can see me show transformation photos. You can see me doing my workouts. You can obviously see that I'm reading, and you can see that I'm making videos, right? But and you can see me post in the groups daily. How many of you guys see I check into Team Dynasty and Scotty's PS Coach daily, right? You can see that, but you can't see what my inbox looks like. What do my emails look like? What do my Facebook messages look like? What do my invites look like? So that's what I'm here to show you guys today. And I was going to walk through and actually do some, but for the privacy of some people, I figured it's probably better that I don't, because all our videos are on YouTube. So I don't want to accidentally show someone's private conversation of a struggle they might be going through. Does that make sense? I was going to share my screen and type and show you. So I'll just give you examples of exactly what I would do in that situation. So with each situation. So think of it like that. It's the unsexy thing, right? But what I want to tell you is I started doing this before I was a coach. Okay. I mean, I didn't have anything to invite them to in terms of a challenge group per se, or to join as a coach, or to watch a webinar, because I wasn't selling them anything. But I was doing P90X and I loved it, and I was talking to people about it, and I was posting about it on Facebook, and I was even blogging before I started as a coach. And so I was connecting with people and finding people, and they're asking for help. And so those conversations happened inside a private message. And I was on a call Tuesday night with some of my new coaches, with my new Coach Basics groups. Every Tuesday night I have a video chat for an hour where we talk about sharing our story, and we answer any questions that they're struggling with or things that they need. And one of them was really struggling with challenge groups. They were having troubles running challenge groups. And I was like, dude, tell me about it. My challenge groups suck for the most part. I've had some good ones. Currently I have a good one, but I basically let them know, it's okay. Some people will be really great at challenge groups. Some people will be mediocre. Some can go from okay to getting better at them. But we've built this entire team of 43,000 coaches without ever running a super awesome challenge group. Okay. And we also have great transformations, right? When I said that, I saw Misty up there shaking her head yep. And she's an awesome transformation, right? And it wasn't through, I could tell you she's one of my coaches, one of my diamonds. It wasn't through a challenge group. So I don't want to take away the value of making sure that we get results. I'm just saying you can get results without a challenge group. So I run them, yes, but where I'm leading to this with this is kind of like you attract who you are. So I was the type of guy that did the program on my own. I had a friend at work that was doing it with me, so that was enough accountability from me. And then being able to write Lindsay when I had a question was enough accountability for me. So that's kind of who I am. So that's kind of who I attract. So a lot of my times, when I have somebody that's committed and they follow through and purchase a program, yes, they're in a challenge group, but I can't see if Garrett's on. Oh, he has classes tonight. Garrett, for example, I put him in my challenge group. He's one of my best friends from high school. And 21 Day Fix Extreme, I put him in the challenge group. I saw zero posts from him in 21 days, and then another 21 days. And he's like, I want to meet up for lunch. And he would ask questions is it okay to eat this? He would text me, right? Can I do this? Should I do this? How much weight should I do? Like he would ask me those questions and I would follow up with him. I go to lunch with him to talk about becoming a coach. It was what that was about. But he had gone from a 35 waist to a 28 in those 42 days, and he never posted in the challenge group. So, right, if I didn't understand that, I could be like, my challenge group suck. I can never build a business, right? But the important thing is that you are following up with people however they want to be followed up with. Some people may just want to use a group. Some people may just want like a weekly accountability, or they may want to email. Like not all want to use Facebook. And now obviously we're moving into, they released the app, right? So that's one of the things that happens behind the scenes in my inbox. Even before someone buys a program, is I'm talking to them about their goals, what they want. And if they don't want to purchase a program from me, or they don't want to be a coach, but they're wanting to do something, like if it's even me encouraging and asking them how their bike riding is going, or their swimming is going, or their running is going, or they're walking, or they're getting rid of soda, I'm going to still follow up with them every week on that and help them start living that healthier lifestyle. And when I can help them for that amount of time, then they're going to see what I do by my posts, by my videos, by my transformation photos. And some point they're going to want to do more. So behind the scenes, every day I'm having conversations with people, even if it doesn't seem like they are ready to buy anything yet or ready to commit to being a coach, I'm having that conversation with them. So I feel that I'm personally like that because that's who I was before being a coach. And, when I started as a coach, we didn't have challenge groups. Those were kind of invented by my coach, Lindsay, in our first year. So I was used to using this notebook. Like that's a one-day follow-up list of people to check in on how they're doing. And I have stars. I have my own little thing. I have stars by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. So there's about 30 people on this list, and there's stars by 5. Those stars are the people that are interested. So that's 25 people that are not really showing any commitment towards purchasing the program or buying a challenge pack or getting into coaching, but they're people that are moving in that direction. I've started building a relationship with them. They want change. And so I'm helping them make changes, even when they say, I don't want a challenge pack, or I don't want to buy Shakeology, or they go buy, this is where I think a lot of people miss, is they're like, I got P90X. Like one of my cousins is like that. He's like, I'm doing hammer and chisel. And I'm like, dude, I know where he got that. So, but I'm still going to help him. So he'll be on my follow-up list. I'm going to make sure that he gets results with that program. So, or results with running, because we're a coach. Our job is to help people get results with these programs. So, so a lot of those, like 25 out of those 30 follow-ups that I do today, only 5 of them are like, hey, I'm ready to be a coach, and they're not committing yet, or hey, I'm ready to join your 21-day fix challenge, and they haven't committed yet. See, I'm looking at Justin up here. Justin, he just waved, like he's one of my prospects. Like I invite people to everything, first of all, but he's joining on March 1st. So he's on there as a star. Does that make sense? Because he's somebody that's ready, that has a date, they've committed. Now I'm just waiting for it to come through when the time is right for them. Those people I put stars. The rest of them are like, I'm just building a relationship and trying to help them. So that is kind of what I do with that. And does that make sense? Does that make sense? So, and I want to say that because I probably spend about 2 hours going, or an hour and a half a day, just asking. It's basically, I ask them a question. I ask them another question. I ask them to do something. I give them a task, and I'll share with you what kind of tasks I do. But I share something with them and ask them to do something. So I'm continually helping them learn and grow in some area. And I'll share exactly what I share with them with you guys in just a minute. But I spend about 2 hours a day behind the scenes messaging people. And I can tell you honestly, in my mindset, I don't look at that day and say, it doesn't even concern me if I make a sale or send a link that day, just that I continue those conversations. And I think that's important. And I love that process. I love that follow-up process and building those relationships. So we're going to talk about specifically, I put why I post consistently on Facebook and what's the goal of posting publicly on Facebook. I'll talk about why I comment on their posts on their wall. And then I'll share with you what I invite them to do in those private conversations and then I'll share with you when to invite and what I'm inviting them to do. So first of all, there's two parts of this equation that are very important. So you have your public Facebook wall. What does it look like? Like, what are you posting on your Facebook? And then there's the behind the scenes Facebook messaging, okay? So you can do everything I'm going to teach you on the Facebook messaging, but if your Facebook wall has like links and salesy stuff, they're going to connect two things together and be like, this is like gross. I see what's going on here. They're putting links on their wall to buy something, and they're writing me here. They want me to buy something. They want me to do, so they immediately can think that. Now, on the other hand, if you're adding value on your wall, or by adding value, I'll tell you exactly what I post on my wall. I post first thing every morning, I teach my personal development. Most people just do their personal development, but the true way to learn something is to teach it to somebody else. Okay? Teach it to somebody else. So I do my personal development, and then I teach it in a Facebook post. And this is every day. The next thing I make sure, and these are the three things I post about every day. I teach about my personal development. I do something about my kids or my wife. And then I do something funny, something to make people laugh. And I word it in a way like share this if this made you laugh, or if you know someone like this, tag them or share with them, or share this on your wall, okay? That's an important thing. And I know this is outside the message thing, but I want you to understand why this is important. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And some of my top coaches, one of my top coaches, like this is what we're talking about, like in one of our diamond pages. Can you guys see my page here? Okay. I'm going to go to Facebook real quick. Like in our diamond group, he posted, hey, this is a new record for me. So this is something I want you to understand that we're actively trying to do if it loads. Internet connection is unstable. Okay, give it just a second. My kids are watching a show downstairs, so. Okay, I'm gonna go to Sean Bergignon out of Edmonton, Canada. And I think it was yesterday, but I'm gonna find it for you real quick. Okay, right here. Okay, so he organically posted this video by himself, and this isn't even the one, but look at how many shares this got. Can you guys see this? 283 shares and like 40 comments, okay? So I wanna make sure you can see that. I can't see you guys, so I'm just gonna make sure you see that. Like he didn't share that video, he uploaded it himself. Another thing he did, I'm gonna see if it's on here on his public Facebook wall. And watch how consistent this is, right? This guy works 2 full-time jobs and is a dad of 4. And look how many posts I've scrolled through just to get to 24 hours ago. I want to make sure you guys note that and see that. So being busy is no excuse because he's got 2 full-time jobs. Lots of transformation photos. Okay, the one I couldn't find isn't there, but that video one was example enough. So let me find this thing to end the share. Okay, could you guys see that screen? I couldn't see you guys. Had like 200 shares, right? So one thing I want you to make sure of right now is that your Facebook is 100% public. Because like my goal when I write those posts in the morning isn't just for my list of 5,000 people to see. I want those people to share that with their friends list, so that random people can find my stuff and be like, that's inspirational, or I needed to hear that today. Who is this guy? I'm going to follow him, right? So that's an important part of Facebook, is creating content and working on creating content. Like in our diamond page, he's like, oh my gosh, it's my new record. I got 250 shares. Like that's the thing we get excited about, because we know that puts us in our message in front of more people. So it's important that you post at least 3 times daily. I mean, Sean had like 8 posts in those 24 hours, but this is mine specifically. I teach my personal development. Number 2, I do something about my kids, being a father or being a husband, and then something funny, like a meme or something, or like I'll do something engaging if it's not funny. Like I'll do a family feud question, dumb as it sounds, like, I'll just do it, and people want to comment and engage. So the important thing is getting people to comment and engage on your stuff. Now I'm talking about that because when you're private messaging people, if they're not responding or you start messaging them, they're going to they're going to hop over to your wall and they're going to see what you're up to, right? I want this to click in your mind. Like when someone friend requests you, what do? You go look at their Facebook wall, right? You go see what they've been up to. It's like you stalk them. Okay, so that's what your prospects do. So it's important that you have consistent, good content that's not salesy on your wall. Inspirational, motivational, funny, something that makes them say, like, I want to have this relationship that's starting with Matt Barclay or with Brandon, right? So it's important that you're consistent on your Facebook wall for everything that I'm going to talk about in your private messages to be effective. Does that make sense? Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, awesome. And I see people putting stuff on there about ignoring your messages. I get it all the time. It's okay if they ignore your messages. Don't worry about that. So, and I'll touch on that, on what I do with those people that ignore my messages. So we talked about why consistently the goal of posting, it's to expand your network and to add value to people. So in order for someone to invest $140 in a challenge pack, I can tell you when my coaches or prospects, when Justin invests in his challenge pack on the first, he's not paying $140 or $160 for workout DVDs and Shakeology. He's paying for what he's seen in the value that I offer as a human being with my brand of Scotty Hobbs, right? Is that correct to say that, Justin? Can I get a thumbs up if it is? I'm putting words in his mouth, but I know it is because I've been doing this for 5 years, okay? So it's important that you are consistent at that. It's consistent because nobody's going to want to follow you if you're not. If they see you're like inspirational for 2 weeks and then you're gone for 2 weeks and they get excited about this, they're going to go to somebody that is there 24/7 because they want somebody that's committed. If they're ready to commit, they want somebody that's committed. So you have to make that personal promise to yourself. So what am I inviting people to? So I know a lot of you guys aren't my personally sponsored coaches, and quite a few of you guys are. So with my personally sponsored coaches, this is what I set up. And we talked about on a team call a few weeks ago. You can go back and talk about it. But the first Monday of every month, together as a team, we run a Coach Basics group. The second week, we run a Clean Eating group. The third week, we run a Team Challenge group. And the fourth week, we run a Coach Sneak Peek group. So that's 4 things that we have consistently to invite somebody to. Like when the opportunity has to invite somebody to be educated about what we have, we invite them to that group. So for example, I'm going to use Justin a lot. Justin is invited into my Coach Sneak Peek group, our team's Coach Sneak Peek group right now, because we're on the 4th week. So he's in that group. So I would set up some sort of thing also for you to invite people to, right? To have, or for your team. Like if you're at Emerald and you have 2 coaches, I would start just coming up with a schedule monthly that you have to invite people to and work together as a team. So that's something I invite them to do. And here's the thing that I don't talk about, but is the most powerful thing that I do in my behind the scenes messaging. So the messages will look like this. I'll connect with somebody. I'll reach out to 3 new people that I don't know. And so Beachbody teaches reach out to 2 new people a day. So I do 5. Okay, I do at least 5 a day. And the conversation will go like this. It'll say, maybe they liked one of my posts and I don't know their name, right? I've never seen that name before and they like my post. Or maybe I'm in a group of dads, dads of daughters or some type of group on Facebook. I'll go in and I'll make friends in there by commenting on their post and engaging in there. And then I will friend request them one day and send a message. So the message just looks something like this. And I would have to directly relate it to them, to something I've talked about with them. But I would look at their Facebook wall. I would find something in common. And this is like common rapport building skills, people building skills. I would say, hey, I noticed that you have 2 daughters. I think it's super awesome that you're engaged with your daughters like you are. I think that's a thing that this society misses. And I just thought it would be great to be friends with you. I have 3 daughters myself, and I love spending time with them. That's all it would be. I saw in there, what if they ignore me? If he ignores me, I don't care. I sent him a friend request. I messaged him. More than likely, he might click follow. He might not. He can see my post one day, see what I do, and come back, right? So I don't care. I don't even think about that if they ignore me. But I know that if I do 5 a day times 30 days a month, That's a couple hundred people. I'm going to start conversations with a few of them. Okay. And then more than a few, I'm going to start conversations with 50 of the 300, maybe, right? And the other 250 might secretly follow. They might go look through my posts, whatever it is. That's the stuff. That's kind of like the unsexy part of I can't tell what they do. But that's where the thing where every action that you take in this business will pay you back in the future. Raise your hand if it took you more than 6 months to commit to a program or being a coach. Raise your hand. On the front page, I see 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. On my screen, I see 12 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of 25 people. So half of the people took longer than 6 months. I ignored messages when I got invited to become a coach. I ignored them. I had a phone conversation with the top recruiter of the company, and I still didn't join for 8 months. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that every action you take will pay you back in the future. So you've got to show up and love doing this every day. Like love doing these messages, writing these people, and doing the conversations with them. So that's one of the steps I have to what I invite them to. I have 4 groups that I can invite people to. So maybe if the conversation's going nowhere, but they want some help with health and fitness, I'll say, hey, that's okay. I understand. Like if someone tells me they can't afford it, I totally understand. I couldn't either when I first wanted to start my journey. I couldn't fit it into my budget, but I learned some healthy eating tips that really helped me. If I were to invite you, and I word it like this always, if I were to invite you, would you? If I were to invite you to a 5-day clean eating group, would you like to join it? It's completely free. Like it would be like that. Same thing would go when I invite to the coach sneak peek. Hey, I know you've been struggling. We've been talking for 3 months. You really don't like being a taxi driver 12 hours a day. I know that you have some fears, and I had those fears as well. If I invited you to a sneak peek into what is coaching group on the, whatever the date is on the 28th, no obligation, just to come in and see what it's all about, see the members of this team, would you join it, right? So that's how my invite looks. If I invited you, would you come in and watch the videos? So that's what an invite looks like when I'm inviting to the group. But the most powerful thing that I invite them to do is, you guys see in the team page, I always post like links to a video, right? Like an Eric Thomas video, an audio book. Like right now, like this week, I listened to Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk 3 times, and I listened to the book 10X, the 10X Rule 2 times, and they've both been posted in the team pages. Like, you got to read this book. You got to read this book. So the same thing I'm doing to every conversation, like all 25 of these people, whether they're ready or not, I'm going to be like, hey, I was thinking about you yesterday when I was listening to this book called Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. And I know that you're a manager at your position, at your job, over at Cable One or over at Verizon. You're the sales manager. And I know that you want to become the best at that. I believe this book that I was listening to could really help you become better at that job. And I'll share with them the link to the audio book, and I'll ask a question. I'll say, hey, this book is 3 hours long. Take time, do 15 minutes of it a day or 30 minutes, whatever you can fit in on your commute or whenever. And after you start it, I want, after you listen to a little bit, I want you to tell me what stands out to you the most. Like, what do you like most about that? So guys, this is where I think a lot of people miss. Like, I think a lot of coaches are just directly going into, do you want to join my challenge group? Do you want to become a coach? Like, I get to that point, but the first part, as I'm getting to know who they are and what they're doing, I'm teaching them how to be better at what they're already doing through these books that I'm reading. I also do it with my own YouTube videos. Like, a lot of times, when you make YouTube videos, nobody watches them. Have you ever had that feeling? You make a video and you're like, I got 6 views. Like, what? Like, that's how mine were too. I still make a video today. I have like 14,000 subscribers, and I could still make a video. I have 1,200 videos. I can still make a video, and it only gets 100 views. I mean, some will go to 500, some will get 100. right? So if I learn something in this book greater that I could teach somebody on how to be a better father, or to believe in themselves enough to have their transformation, or to take that leap and be a coach, and I teach it in a 3-minute YouTube video, that day, like I post it like on Facebook or whatever, but I will send that to every single follow-up I have. I'll say, hey, Barton, I know you've been in the Army for 28 years and you're not quite, like if he wasn't a coach, you want to retire, you want to have some purpose and passion to do with military, and you love health and fitness, and I know you've been hesitant on if Beachbody's for you or not, if this is something you can do. I made this video today. I was thinking about you, and I think this will really help you. And I'll send the video and I'll ask a question. After you watch this 3-minute video, will you please share with me what you could take away and apply to your life today? Okay? So I'm doing that. Like every single follow-up on that list. So there's like 30 people, 25 people on that list today that will get that video. Okay? And there might not even be a direct invite to a challenge group that day if the timing is not right. Okay? But I'm teaching them and asking them to educate themselves on something that I have a value, whether it's me doing it or whether it's Gary Vaynerchuk on a 10-minute video or a Les Brown 10-minute video. Or let's say tomorrow you listen to Les Brown or Jim Rohn, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Guess what? That's exactly what every one of your friends needs to hear too. So share that with them. Like give that gift to them and let them listen to it. And what I found is when I do that, when I'm consistent on sharing transformations and I invite them to the clean eating groups, even if they ignore me on the clean eating group invites or the coach sneak peek invites, if they begin to read those, listen to those books, they get it. I don't have to convince them. They're like, oh my gosh, like I get this thing that Scotty's doing. And they get it from the book, not from me. Then they just see how I'm applying it. And they're like, I could do that too. I can do what Scotty's doing. So that's what I'm doing is I'm inviting every single day to have somebody, if the time's right, I'll invite them to the coach sneak peek, like I said, or the team challenge group, or the clean eating group, or the coach sneak peek, or the coach basics, right? Become a coach and be in our coach training group next month. Yes, I'm inviting to them when the time feels right. But I'm inviting them every day to listen to little clips on YouTube or one of my videos. And I'm adding value to them through another person or through me. Like Jennifer did an amazing speech and she talks about being shy and can I add value to people? So I've shared that video with all of my friends that I know are shy that are not coaches yet because they think their shyness will hold them back, right? So I'm helping them believe in themselves by sharing stories of other people. So those are the kind of things I'm sharing with people every single day behind the scenes. But the number one thing that I'm inviting them to do, aside from that, is to talk to me on the phone. Okay? I want you guys to get that. I'm inviting them to talk to me on the phone. The minute, and I see it all the time so I had a coach send me a message thread today. And they're like, here's the message thread of what the process was like, what it looked like. Where did I go wrong? That was the question. He's ignoring me now. He was excited. Where did I go wrong? And I read through it, and it was always about fitness because this guy loved fitness. They were relating on that. She'd ask questions. He would say something about push-ups. She would talk about push-ups and talk about something else. And the conversation kept going. But there was one point when he said, I work 12 to 16 hours a day, and I'm so tired that I don't know if I have enough time for health and fitness. So me right there, guys, when I see that, do you know what I'm going to invite them to do? I'm going to say, hey, you know what? There was one point in my life where I worked 12 to 15 hours as well. I would love to talk to you on the phone about that experience and how I fit in working out. So I would say, shoot me a text and we'll plan a time between Friday and Saturday that we can talk for 10 minutes on the phone about how we can help fit in your working out with working 15 hours a day. Because I've been there. It's like that's how short it will be. A lot of people vomit all this information about how to join their challenge group and get in shape. They want to hear you. They want to hear your voice to get on the phone with you. So when I make that invite, when I get on the phone, and this is what I teach my new coaches, and I see a lot of my new coaches on here. When I get on that phone with them, I'm going to tell them, I'm going to ask them if they love their job, if they like work, if they're just a workaholic and they love working 15 hours a day, and they're going to say no. And I'll tell them my story about how that's not what I expected from my life either. I didn't plan on having my wife work at night, and I'm going to tell my 2-minute story on how Beachbody Coaching, like getting in shape and helping people with these programs, help me get out of the working that time, right? Because that's gonna get them on a deeper level. Be like, oh snap! Like first it was just working out. Now you're telling me if I work out and I help some people, there's a possibility in the future that I don't have to work 15 to 16 hours a day. So when I'm having, you got to watch when you're asking those questions and having those conversations. You got to watch for that opportunity to get on the phone with them on something you can relate with them and say, let me get on the phone with you, man. And then that's where you can really connect with them. They can hear your excitement about it. They can hear your confidence in it as you talk about how it's changed your life. And then you can invite them. If you don't know how to explain the program, the coaching all the way yet, you could do your best and then just say, hey, I would love to, like, we're a part of one of the best teams in Beachbody, that they're teaching us everything about how to do this. If I invited you to our group that starts next week that explains how all this works, would you hop in and watch the videos and learn with us? Right? So you can do it, your invite that way. Does that make sense? Does that sound like it's something that might help you guys? And how many of you guys, if someone talked to you on the phone or in person, would be more comfortable joining than just a Facebook message? Raise your hand. Awesome. I had 30 people try to recruit me. One of them asked me to get on the phone, and do you know who that was? Ms. Lindsay Matway. Okay. So I learned that first and foremost from my coach is get people on the phone. That made me feel special, right? All the other ones were copy and pasted. That's why I'm not going to give you scripts on how to invite, because I got scripts, and it's okay to have a script and adjust it. But I want you guys, when you find an opportunity, get on the phone with them. So the last question, and we're cutting it close. The last question. So does that make sense of what my messages look like in the inbox? So I'm doing 30 follow-ups a day, but then you got to realize I did that the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that. And so I have people writing me, right? So the inbox, I'll tell you guys, my inbox looks like 100 a day, 90 in my Facebook. Okay. So when I say these 30 people get that video from me, 100 people get that video from me, right? I'm going to send that to every single person, and ask them something and how that can improve their life. And one thing I know, you're sitting here right now, that sounds overwhelming. I don't have time to do 100. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of you get on Facebook and you chat back and forth forever. Chat back and forth, chat back and forth. You write something and then they respond and you respond back and then they respond. And it's like you're working 24/7. Guys, I go through my Facebook. I'm going to show you just real quick what it kind of looks like without going into specific messages. So my Facebook looks like this when I come into my messages. Oh, we're pretty good right now. So this is how I do it. I go unread like this. Hey, Angela, there's your voice text I sent you today. So I go like this, unread. And then when I do my follow-ups, I have this list. I don't look at any of these right here. So I come right here to my search bar, and let's say I'm going to write Wayne. I saw Wayne's on this call. I'll put Wayne like this. I'll come in and click on this for Wayne, and then I would follow up with Wayne. So obviously, I had a phone call with Wayne, so this is all stuff for him to sign up as a coach, and he's helping us. We're going to Costa Rica for 30 days to spend time with the family. But so I'm asking him questions because his son works there. But if he, let's say before I send this thing about coach sign up, and my follow-up is to follow up with him and he hasn't done it yet, I'll just follow up with him. I'll be like, hey, Wayne, this is what I go to his Facebook wall. He said, I just mowed my lawn. I come in here like this. Wayne, I'm using you because you're technically a coach on our team right now. So I'd come here and I'll be like, I'll do this. We won't be able to mow for another 2 months in Idaho. This is what I would do on my follow-up. If Wayne was the first person on that follow-up list I showed you, this is what I would do. So I'm so jacked about to start my journey I dreamed about. So that's him talking about becoming a coach. I'll give him a round of applause. He's joining as a coach this weekend. Way to go, Wayne. But so, you know, that was the case. I'd come in here and I'd just come comment on some of his stuff. And trust me, there's some people's wall stuff that I don't believe in, or it's political stuff. I don't comment or like that stuff. You got to be true to yourself and who you are and real about this. I'll only comment on stuff that I agree with or can connect with. Had a 22-mile tandem bike ride. So I would come and comment like that. I would write like this. I don't think I've ever ridden 22 miles. That's awesome. So I'd come do this, and then I would do my follow-up. I would come in, I would write on his wall. This is if he didn't respond to me, because he didn't respond to me in this case. He saw the post, seen it 10:40, and then there's no response. So I would come in here, and I'll be like, this is what I would do. So forget this stuff about Costa Rica. But I sent him the link to sign up. I talked to him. He's ready to sign up. And let's say he doesn't sign up. This is what my message would be like. And Wayne, you're going to get this message. I'll be like, I'll read it. I'll type. I can't do two things at once. I'll type it and then I'll tell you. Okay, so I wrote, hey man, I was thinking about you today and I saw that post about riding the tandem bike with your daughter. That sounds super fun. Is it easy to go that far with a bike and two people pedaling? Okay, you guys are going to, if you haven't done stuff like this, you're going to be like, what the heck? So this is the unsexy stuff right there. Okay, I'm going to make sure I can see you guys. Do you guys see that? So I'm doing that with every single person on that follow-up. I'm liking their posts that I can agree with. I'm commenting on some. And then in the message, that's what I do if people don't follow through with something. Let's say I sent them a video to watch a 10-minute Les Brown video about motivation, and they don't watch it, and I see they saw it and they ignored it. I'll go to their wall just like that. I'll comment, and then I'll go in and I won't say anything about the Les Brown video. I'll just go in and say, hey, I saw that same thing. I saw you went riding with your, I've seen those. They look hard to balance. Whatever it is, how the conversation would go, I would start talking about that. Okay. And most likely they're going to come back and be like, oh man, I forgot. Life got busy. I forgot to watch that video. I'm going to do it now. That's what happens a lot of times. So, and I don't bring it back up and ask him to watch the video again. I'll just leave it. He saw it. I invited him to do that. So I do that type of follow-up with every single person that I'm inviting to a challenge group to get on the phone with me. That's what I do with the people that are ignoring me. I do that also with normal follow-ups. I'll go comment on their stuff, and I'll start the conversation with, hey, I saw you were at the park with your kids today, flying a kite. Man, I can't wait till the weather's nice enough to get out with my girls. And then to answer your question, and then I'll read what they wrote and answer the question. So that's that's unsexy, right? It's like everybody wants the big magic secret. Boom, what does Scotty do? What does Sean do to hit Success Club 10 every single month? We're starting 5 new conversations a day. And so that you don't continue with the same people that are not moving forward, what I do is, this is the last important step, is I make kind of like a casual invite to let them go. Like if I can't find a reason to invite, okay? Like I can't find something that they need through my questions where I can invite them and say, I want to talk to you on the phone about that, or I'll help you in a clean eating group, or I think coaching's good for you. If I can't find something, I'll do a total casual one. And I did that with my mom's cousin, Jay, and he's a coach now, right? I couldn't find anything. He's building his own business with a t-shirt brand. He's a busy man. And I just wrote, this is what I wrote Jay. I put, hey, Jay, come here, buddy. I wrote, hey, Jay, like I can't believe, this is how I worded it. Jay, I can't believe, and we've been having these conversations, like asking about his t-shirt company, asking about the family, asking about how it is in Utah. And I put, hey, Jay, dude, I can't believe that I have never asked you if you've ever thought about being a Team Beachbody coach. I was like, if I invited you to come into a 5-day group with no obligations, learn from some of our coaches and see how coaching actually works, would you come in and watch that video? Watch those videos for 5 days on a Facebook group. And he put, dude, I would love to do that. And he got in, watched the videos, and signed up as a coach on the last day of the coach sneak peek. Okay, so sometimes that's like the concept from the book, Go for No. Like sometimes you just got to go for it. So I can't tell you when is a good time and when is not a good time. But like if I can't find, like after 2 or 3 weeks of building a relationship with somebody and I can't find something to invite them to or a struggle they need, I'll do a casual one like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, but I wait like 3 weeks. So it's not like one day later you're like, hey, you want to join my team? Hey, I got a challenge group. Do you want to join my group? So I'll wait. And that's like when I can't get to a point, I'll make that casual invite to them. And then if they say, oh, I'm not interested, then that's totally cool. They're going to see what you do on your on your Facebook posts that are consistent on your Facebook wall. Okay, I feel like I'm missing one thing, and he's got something to say too. Tell him what's up, man. He's like, Dad, it's been 45 minutes. Okay, so that's what my messages look like. What I want you guys to know, the other way is if here's the other part where a lot of people get, like if you're not hitting Success Club consistently, if you start doing this with 5 people a day, at least, you're going to start hitting Success Club. But it's going to take 2 or 3 months to build that momentum and that trust and that rapport with your Facebook wall. You're posting, you're adding value in those relationships. So realize it's going to take time and you got to start now. But the next thing that I want you to know is you've got to let people go. Because what happens when someone starts doing this and they don't hit Success Club is because they really don't do it. They stop starting the conversation with 5 new people because they get a list of 40 or 30 that they think are going to come through. They said they're going to come through, and so they stop the new conversations and they count on those 10 people, those 3 people, those 5 people as their next coach or their next challenge pack. And that's the whole focus, is those next people they're counting on, and they forget and they stop the activity of meeting new people and starting those conversations. And then that means you have no harvest in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. So you must plant seeds every single day. And I love that Scott and Megan Guck here are doing their workout back there. So you must do that, but you must also learn to let people go when they don't follow through with anything. Like once you invite them and they say, I'm going to do it or whatever, or you ask them to do something or watch a video and they're not responding to just a normal conversation, you got to let them go. And here's my line. I call it the bless and release. And you must bless and release if you are going to continue to hit your goals. Sorry, and help more people. Here, one second. So, okay, let me hold this. There we go. So this is the last one. So my bless and release is basically you got to leave people on a really, really good term, but it also involves you staying true to your word. 1 second. Okay, we'll end it right here. My wife's gone. I got all 5 kids, so my daughters couldn't get them anymore. So here's the bless and release. So the bless and release is, and this is if they aren't following through, so that you don't continue writing the same people for the next 6 months that aren't doing anything or moving in a direction of growth. What I say to them is, hey, I know you were super excited about losing 20 pounds or about changing your financial situation or about paying off your credit card or about bringing your wife home. I understand if you have fears or doubts or whatever it is, and each one's individual according to what our conversations were over the past 3 or 4 weeks. What I want you to know is I want you to come to me when you're ready. And my promise to you is that when you're ready, I will be here to help you. And then I let them go. Their name is no longer on this follow-up list. It has to come off. Because if it doesn't come off, you're going to keep trying to help somebody that's not ready to be helped right now. And that keeps you away from those 5 new invites or 5 new conversations every day and planting 200 new seeds every single month. So I really got to get off the call, but I had to make sure I got everything in on this one for you guys. But raise your hand. Are you committed to starting your 5 new conversations today, doing this unsexy thing? But I call it unsexy as per Jenny Haushin's terms, but it is the foundation of building good relationships and trust and rapport with people. And our job is not to sell somebody a product or an opportunity. Our job is to educate them on what we have and let them decide if it is something that can help them achieve their goals. So that's what it is. You're building a relationship so they trust you enough to take your advice that these tools will help them achieve the goals that they want. And the only way to do that is have those conversations with them, like build a real human connection with people. Okay, I got to go take care of the baby. Love you guys. Thanks for hopping on the call tonight. And I'll post a recording up in the team if any of your coaches need to hear this. We'll see you guys later.